Does your child have a hard time hearing no? Do they follow you around the house when you don't give them the answer they want and keep asking the same questions over and over? Well, I'm going to tell you how to handle that based on what I learned to do with my son. I want to explain real quickly why kids with ADHD have a propensity to get stuck on things when they're not getting their way, why they don't let things go. Well, the reason for that is because ADHD is what we would call an executive function developmental delay, meaning a child with ADHD executive function skill development is approximately 2 to 3 years behind their same age peers. Well, one of the foundational executive function skills that's not spoken about much is cognitive flexibility. So the ability to be adaptable, go with the flow. So for a lot of kids with ADHD, when they're not getting their way, they get stuck because of that cognitive flexibility piece that is underdeveloped for their age. I have a saying, flexibility is cultivated, inflexibility is accommodated. So it's incredibly important that you don't accommodate your child's inflexibility, because if you do, inflexibility will get worse over time. I've had so many parents reach out to me when they hear me talk about this and they realize that that was the case in their home. Let me explain what I did with my son when he wasn't getting his way and would ask the same things over and over. I had to do this in steps because I could almost predict what was going to be the sequence of events. So when he got an answer he did not want to hear, he would start asking why over and over. I would give him a brief explanation. I never said to him, because I told you so, or because I'm the dad, because I think all kids deserve an explanation, a brief one. And then I would say, okay, so I gave you the explanation. So I want you to understand, if you keep asking me over and over, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just choosing not to answer the same question because my answer is going to be the same. Now, in the case with my son, who had a propensity to be incredibly inflexible and argumentative, he would often escalate to the next step. So the next step after that would be his attempt at emotional manipulation, saying things like, you don't care about me. If you cared about me, you would let me do this, or you would give this to me, things like that. When he would try emotional manipulation on me, I would just say to him, I'm sorry you feel that way. I didn't try to give him reassurance because that's not helpful. I didn't deny how he was feeling or tell him he was wrong. I would just say, I'm sorry you feel that way. And I wouldn't keep repeating it. I would say it once. And when the emotional manipulation wouldn't work, then he would often go to his next tactic, which was knocking over furniture or threatening to break things. At that point, I would separate myself from him and leave the room. I would give the behavior no attention at all. So when he would start knocking over the dining room chairs, didn't even acknowledge it. So then I would go upstairs and I would go to my room or wherever, pretend I was reading or I was watching TV. And then he would start, calling upstairs to me, narrating like, okay, I'm going to break this now, or I'm going to do this. And I didn't give it any response at all. And I will tell you, sometimes he did break things. And when he did, I didn't give it any acknowledgement whatsoever. I didn't go downstairs. I didn't say you better stop, because if I gave the behavior any attention, I would be reinforcing it with my attention and, in my case, with my emotional reactivity. So if I did that, he would learn that, you know what, this is effective. So when I'm not getting my way, I'm just going to get my dad really upset, and then I'm going to eventually get what I want. Or if I don't, at least I'll get him back for not giving me what I want. And often after he was done, whatever he broke, he would be remorseful and he would clean it up. And I would say to him, okay, well, you're going to have to pay for that, or you're going to have to do a cleanup to help pay for that. So a cleanup is a concept I teach in Scaffolding Better Behavior, my parent behavior training program. And what a cleanup is a way to make amends to somebody who we've said or done something hurtful towards. It's a way to teach kids accountability, but also teach them the importance of reciprocity in relationships, which can be particularly difficult for kids with ADHD sometimes. So if your child gets stuck when they're not getting their way, if they follow you around, or in the case with my son, use emotional manipulation or start destroying things, you have to do these things. Number one, use affective calmness to show that you are calm inside, even if you don't feel calm inside. Number two, do not give the behavior any attention or emotional reactivity. And number three, they need to do a cleanup when this is over if they've said anything really hurtful or done something destructive like my son used to do. If you'd like more practical parenting strategies that get right to the point, please check out the behavior playlist at the ADHD Dude YouTube channel. And please check out Scaffolding Better Behavior, which is part of the ADHD Dude membership site. And I will speak to you soon. Take care.